Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. My name is Nellie, and I am an indie author of multiple books. I filmed this entire clip this morning, and I just went back to look at it, and it's gone. Might as well. I talked for like 10 minutes. So, basically, this is a getting back to work type of situation, and today has not been a great example of that. But yesterday, I implemented all the copy edits for Ice, which is novel 2 of the Catcher series, and I only did chapter 1, but I started draft 3 of Storms, which is novella 2 of the Catcher series, yesterday, while also listening to a little bit over an hour of Buttercup Baby's audiobook, which was the first time I was listening to it, because now I was going to proof it, even though all of the files aren't in ACX yet, but I was starting to proof it. And the guy, it's a husband and wife duo that are doing it. The guy sounds amazing. He sounds like a seasoned voice actor. The girl didn't. The first chapter I listened to, I was like, this is not the same person on audition. So I literally went back to listen to the audition real quick, and then I went back and I was like moving around to see, is it the same person? And it was. It's just, the only time she really had emotion was like the sexier scene. So I was like, oh, that's not gonna work. So I was like already giving him little changes, like, oh, this is how you say this word, or stuff like that, like really small tweaks. But I was like, it sounds like you're a seasoned actor and she is like getting started with this for the first time. And he was like, oh, you're right. So he's actually having me listen to later chapters because they were recorded more recently after she like got into it. So I've listened to one of them. It's not 100% great. Like, there are more tweaks in it than like she sounds good, but like there are like regular tweaks in it, which is why I'm saying not 100%. But I was like, oh, she sounds so much better now. I don't quite know yet if like we're still gonna go with it, because I'm gonna listen to so he told me 2 chapters, so I'm gonna go listen to that second one too, and then see, because he offered that he could just do all of the chapters, like, so he could do Emery's chapters as well as Tommy's. So he offered to send me a recording of what he would sound like as Emery. I really wanted a dual narration. And I feel like, based off of the more recently recorded stuff, that could still happen with his wife. Because obviously the other option was I just take the recordings for Tommy and I find a different voice actor for the woman. But sticking with this one, which hopefully we can stick with this one, I need to go back and listen to the audio again for Emery to see if we can make it work for her. But currently, I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, tomorrow I think I'm going to listen to the rest of the Tommy chapters to at least get all the Tommy ones done, because he sounds great. They're just like little tweaks of like, this is how you say this word, or stuff like that. So yeah, there's that. There's the job that I have. This like a part-time data entry-ish job. I'm like 2.5 weeks behind on that because I was gone. So I didn't work while I was in the Northwest, which Portland sucks, Seattle rocks. So yeah, that's pretty much my synopsis of my trip. I hated Portland. I loved Seattle. But yeah, so I need to do that. So I'm doing more of that tonight. And then most of tomorrow is dedicated to that. Plus tomorrow, I'm hoping to film a 2022 stats video, which is going to be like how many books I sold, how many followers I have on each of the accounts, all of that stuff, just so when I film that at the end of this year / beginning of next year for like this year's stats, we can see how it changed and all that. But yeah, currently I'm working on Ice because the copy edit implementations are done, but there was 3 chapters that weren't 4 chapters, 3.5 that weren't finished from like being sent to the copy editor. So I'm trying to have that done this weekend, so on Monday I could send it back to her, because she offered like, oh, once you get those scenes written you could just send it back to me. Hopefully have that done quickly so that next week I could fully order my proof, and then the week after I could start proofing it, because we're a little over a month away from the release of Ice, and I got the covers yesterday for Ice and Storms. Oh, they're so beautiful. I love them. And then for Storms, we're in draft 3. We just started. I literally worked on chapter 2 today. It's an edit scene, and there's an additional scene that I have to add. So honestly, the goal, I don't even know, the goal for this entire weekend is to have Ice completely done, and is to have Storms up to 6 or 7 chapters, 6 or 7 done, which doesn't sound like a lot, but with all the other work I have, it's a lot. But yeah, currently I also spent, it's 4:42 right now. I spent most of this morning, like hours, because the bus train system in Boston right now is a little messed up, so it took an hour, I think just over, like maybe an hour, couple minutes to get into Boston, same to get out. I was there for like half an hour because I was going to the Apple store. Not necessarily to buy a cover for my iPad, but to get the screen protector because I wanted them to put the screen protector on, but they didn't have screen protectors. So I could have just ordered everything. But I just bought a case while I was there. So we have that right here, and I'm so excited to start using it. There's no screen protector on it though, so it feels weird. Oh yeah, I haven't actually put anything on. Ooh, I could put like a vision board on this. Oh, that'll be so pretty, because I never get to see the vision board on my Mac because I open them like immediately when I open it. It just goes, and I already have a bunch of websites open and stuff, so yeah. But currently I'm waiting for the pen to charge so that I could start my languages. I'm trying to learn conversational Spanish and to read and write Armenian, so we're gonna be working on that. And I'm gonna be taking it slow, so I'm gonna be doing like a phrase or a conversation a day, like not, maybe sometimes not even a day, sometimes I might do it every couple days, just so I can like gradually learn it and actually like stick with it. So we'll see how that goes. Also, real quick, I got this at the airport. I'm still as far through it as I was at the airport, but I want to start a thing where I actually buy books at the airport and start reading them there. And then on the inside, I haven't done it here yet, but on the inside I could write like the month I got it and where I was going to for like my library collection, you know, for my travels in my collection in my library, essentially. But yeah, I actually do need to continue. I was liking it, so I do need to continue reading this. My herb growing kit, which I showed in a video at some point. Oh, also, first of all, I redesigned this entire thing. It's ugly, but it holds everything. And I got this new Jo Malone perfume. So good. I just spent the last hour and a half gardening, but before that I spent about 2 hours working on Storms, so good for me. I'm actually working on my projects. So that got me through chapter 2 because I wasn't finished with the second scene in chapter 2, so I finished writing that. And then 3, 4, and 5. Okay, I was like, am I counting that right? And then ideally, like, the plan was, original plan was to be through chapter 9 today, but chapter 8 and 9 are fully brand new chapters, and chapter 7 has 2 scenes in it, 1 brand new, 1 edit. So 7, 8, 9 are basically all brand new chapters, on top of the fact I already wrote 2 scenes today. Usually I thrive on maybe 3 scenes a day, so we'll see how that works out. So definitely want to be through 6 and 7, because I was supposed to be through 6 and 7 on Saturday and it's Monday. So at least I'd like to be there and then just be like 1 day behind on everything, because the plan in my calendar is to be done by this Saturday, the 21st. So if I'm 1 day behind, that makes it Sunday the 22nd, which is still this week, so it's fine. But also I'm trying not to work on Sundays. I'm just like not work on books Sundays, because I have this other job that takes up so much of my time on Sundays that like I get fogged up. but the later chapters are all like straight edits for the most part. So I feel like as long as I stay one day behind, and it doesn't get worse than that, if I stay one day behind, then by the time I get to the end of this week, then I can edit more chapters in a day and like put myself back on track basically. So we'll see how all that works out. But yeah, I did 2 hours of storms this morning, and then I did an hour and a half of this mess, which, oh, how exciting. I don't know how much of these are actually gonna stay alive, but how exciting. And then it is currently 3:10. Oh shit, it's 3:10. I again want to do the rest of those chapters today. Storms still has the epilogue and 2 chapters that aren't written, and I need to send that back to the editor. So I think what I'm gonna do, for sure one of the chapters has to be finished. The other 2, the epilogue and the other chapter, don't necessarily have to be finished, but like they have to be finished this week because I need to order a proof. And it's hard because I need them to be finished so that I can send the final page count to my cover designer, so that she knows how big of a cover to send me, so that I can order the proof. Everything is just... So I need to work on ice today too. That's the moral of the story. So essentially just 6 and 7 for our storms, and then work on ice. The problem is I know what these scenes are for ice, and the two, like the epilogue and the chapter that's not as important, I was so excited to write, but then once I got into writing it, like a fog. I'm getting a mental block and I can't put them on page. And it's really scaring me because the book comes out in literally a month, and I need to have the proof copy by like next week so I can start proofing it and getting everything ready. So the fact that I can't write these, it's stressing me out. So yeah, those 2, and then I didn't listen to any of Buttercup Baby's audio, like Tommy's section, yesterday, so I would ideally like to listen to that today. I like to go to the gym as well, but I don't know, I might go to the gym right now. But then here's my thing, when I go to the gym, when I come back, I end up doing no work. So I'd rather get a little bit more work done and then go to the gym. And then at the gym, I have like 2 hours-ish of Tommy's chapters left to listen to. Because altogether it's like 3 hours, and I listened to an hour of it last time. 2 hours listening to it will probably take me closer to 2.5 hours. And I already know I can't listen to it all in one go. But if I can listen to some of it at the gym. Hello, I just got back from a walk in the park, and it's actually such a beautiful day. Like, it's 45 degrees, but it doesn't feel like 45. It feels so nice. The sun's beaming. Feels beautiful. This morning I worked on chapter 6, so I'm still very behind, but I actually fixed storms. I actually fixed my schedule, because from chapter 13 to the second to last chapter, as of right now, unless I end up adding a scene later, as of right now it's just edits. While edits do take a while, it's not the same as like the creativity to try to find a new scene, or like to write out a new scene. So I put that down to like a day and a half to 2 days, instead of like separating it as much as I had. So technically I just have to be through, I think, chapter 8 today or so. Chapter 8 or 9 today. So, and I already started chapter 7. I need to finish it. So yeah, I need to do 7 and 8 still. While I was at the walk, I ended up listening to 3 more chapters of Buttercup Baby. So, sorry, I just had to respond to that. I ended up listening to 3 more chapters, so there's 7 more chapters left for me to listen to for Tommy sections, which still makes me so uncomfortable to listen to. So that's why we're going little by little. I really want to have it done today, but at this rate, I don't know if that's gonna happen. And then I, again, still need the epilogue and that 1 chapter I'm sending it to the editor for like a final check through of those parts today, no matter what. So if the epilogue's not written today, too bad. I'm sending it to her without the epilogue or without that one chapter because I'm sending it back today, no matter what. But yeah, it's been a pretty nice day, and it's only 1:45. I'm not gonna go to gym today. I switched it out for the walk because when I'm at the gym, I need to just listen to music. I can't be distracted listening to an audiobook, but listening to that audiobook is like, I can only do that when I'm distracted with something physical, which is usually the gym during my day. So I swapped it out for the walk. I might do another walk later to get another few chapters through. We'll see. I just like to talk about the stress I keep putting myself in because I already have the schedule for this entire year planned out, and I tried as much as possible to not overlap any projects. There are some overlaps, but for the most part, I try not to overlap projects because although technically currently I don't have an overlap, last week because of the copy edit implementation and Buttercup Baby's audio listen, there was overlap that bled into this week because I still have Buttercup Baby's audio listen, and like technically those two scenes for Ice, Storms is taking a back seat, and that's the one I have to have done. So I didn't end up writing chapter 7. I have like 150 words of it, and that's it. And it's stressing me out because 7, 8, 9 are brand new scenes, 10 is an edit, 11 and 12 brand new. So and I want to have this entire project done, and then the last chapter and the epilogue are also brand new. I want to have this entire project done by Saturday. It's Tuesday night, and I'm so scared for how it's, because at least for the next couple of days, I'm only working on Storms, although technically I still have to finish Buttercup Baby's audio. But other than that, I'm only working on Storms. I'm so nervous because at this point I'm only getting through 1.5 chapters a day, and at that rate it would take me until late next week to get it done, and I can't do that. Next week, which I was supposed to do this week, but I pushed everything a week, I'm working on novel 3 in this series, and I'm going back to writing draft 1 because again I was supposed to have that done last month and I didn't, and I'm still tweaking the outline for that one, and it's stressing me out because basically starting next year I have, instead of 6 planned releases, I have 5. Hopefully that'll work better, and I think I'm gonna drop it and do it at 5. And I don't even think it's the release dates that are stressing me out. I think it's just there's no spontaneity when you schedule this far out in advance, because I have to work on specific things at specific times in order to hit deadlines. And so, like, if I wanted to work on Promise of a Lifetime, which is my contemporary romance, I can't do that, which also I was supposed to start that the week after next week. And again, that got pushed at least another week because I have to finish draft 1 of novel 3 first. But basically in February, I only had 2 projects planned, which was Promise of Lifetime's draft 2, and then my final release this year, draft 1 of that's a novella, so I want to say hopefully that'll go fine, but also Storms is a novella, and it's stressing me out. It's just, I feel like I have too many things piled on top of each other, and I'm just, I don't know. But yeah, moral of the story, I got pretty much nothing else done. I don't remember what I told you last, but I got 5 chapters of Buttercup Baby done today. So I have 5 chapters left. Yeah. Including the epilogue, I have 5 chapters left. So, hopefully, I can finish that tomorrow and finally message him with every single correction and then be done with it. Hopefully. But yeah, moral of the story is I don't know what to do to de-stress myself from this situation. Maybe I should go to like a coffee shop and work from there or something, because working from home isn't working, which it usually does, but like sometimes I just get into those funk moods. But then sometimes I take all that time to get to a coffee shop, because if I don't get the bus, then it takes a half-hour walk. And then I only stay for like an hour, and I'm like, it's not worth it. So I don't know. Anyway, that's a grim ending, but it's literally how life is sometimes. Sometimes it's just not fun. And it's stressing me out, and I just want to have storms done or close to done. Ideally, I keep telling myself every day, I'm like, at least work on 2-3 chapters, and I keep not meeting it. Although tomorrow, I'm starting off writing a brand new chapter, so hopefully only writing brand new scenes and not editing will put me into that mindset. There's a lot of hopefuls for tomorrow. And also I have to film a video tomorrow.